It's that time of week again. Daredevil season 2, episode 5, the grand design. We left last week with a big, huge cliffhanger, whether Vanessa lives or dies. And we pick up right where we left off last week in episode 4, where we have Fisk and Vanessa arriving at the hospital. Vanessa unconscious, and she is being set for surgery after the altercation with Bullseye. Now, there's a lot to unfold with this particular episode due to the fact that while Vanessa's unconscious, we get a whole bunch of different flashbacks where I think where we should start off with is the Vanessa flashback where we get that scene where she's in the process of getting ready to open up her art gallery.
Yes. So we're definitely connecting the dots from Daredevil Netflix into Daredevil Born Again, which I'm really loving how they're canonizing everything or mostly everything from the past into the future episodes going forward. How Foggy and Matt Murdock were secretly working for Fisk without even knowing it. And Fisk is getting ready to cut some loose ends. And as he's about to start getting into the art game, he ends up meeting Vanessa, which is a really good way to set up their past. And it's back in season 1. I believe they met in episode 4. I believe that episode was called In the Blood. So this is a really, really awesome way, especially for fans who didn't originally watch the Netflix TV series, to go back and see the connections that Vanessa and Fisk had in their relationship prior moving up to this point.
I guess I just forgot to mention that the newcomers that didn't experience the Netflix version, like we get returning characters like Wesley and we get Foggy back, where we like it just everything just comes together in this particular episode. We get a backstory of Buck, where he came from, like he was like this set operative that was under Wesley for a little bit, and where Fisk is like you said, trying to get into the art game, and Wesley pretty much connects the dots with getting him involved with Vanessa. So I wanted to put the microscope on to Wesley real fast, because a lot of people thought he was going to return as an actual like character, and I was like, "There's no freaking way!" Like, and you say it all the time, like if you don't see a body, but we clearly saw the body, like we saw Karen like shoot him multiple times, so he was deader than dead if we're being honest.
Yeah,
But
there's no way to come back from that.
yeah, there's no way of coming back from that. So glad we got the confirmation there with the Wesley situation. But going back to Vanessa though, like we said, she was in an unconscious state. We didn't know what exactly her condition was. She was being prepped for surgery, and we're constantly going through this flashback of obviously with Matt and Foggy, like you said earlier, they've been working for Fisk all along, and they have this one particular client where Foggy had a prior relationship to, where he was a kid, where they lived in the same building,
Apartment
or same
building.
neighborhood, and they were able to get him off due to the falsifying of court documents on his particular case.
Which is really, really cool, because I definitely got to go back and talk about how we got to see Wesley and how he's connected with Buck and see their relationship. Like they knew each other from the get-go, which is really, really like crazy how Cashman and Wesley knew each other from the get-go. So it explains how Fisk got another right-hand man right after Wesley's passed away from carrying, eliminating him. And seeing the dots, like to see like Foggy and Matt work under Kingpin, not knowing it at the time, and seeing them like back in season 1, it definitely takes me back, because I was definitely getting Netflix vibes. I don't know about you. I was definitely getting that. Like, I love that aspect of the what they're doing.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did have the nostalgia from the first season of the Netflix, especially with the Matt haircut. Like he got that little split in between, the little young boy haircut going on there.
Yeah,
So, and obviously the Foggy thing, you get a clean shaven Foggy, opposed to what we saw at Daredevil Born Again season 1, where he actually had a whole thing going on right here. So yeah, it definitely was. I gotta say, the way they directed this episode, I know it's not what a lot of people was expecting as far as where we left off last week in season episode 4, but The way it was directed, the way it was just put together all the way around was just freaking amazing.
Facts. Like I love how the attention to detail, the cast and the producers and the writers are the magic that they're creating with this show is definitely phenomenal. And it's like there's some things I tend to forget because it's been a while since I watched season 1, 2, and 3. I usually binge watch it like once a year at least, but it's been a minute. And to see them like basically pay attention to detail, and there's a lot of things I forgot when I was watching this series, and then I'm like, that I forgot about that. You know what I mean? It's the attention to detail. It's like crazy, and how they're connecting the dots with all these characters that are now in Born Again, and how they're intertwining into the Netflix series, and how they really, really like taking the Netflix lore and bringing it back and making it canon. Because I don't know if you were aware that when Born Again was being announced, and people were asking, the fans were asking, are we going to talk about the Netflix series? Is it going to be canon? And Kevin Feige was kind of dancing around like it's going to bring some aspect of the Netflix series, but not all of it. But I'm definitely seeing that they're really bringing the Netflix series back. And as we know, we got some of the cast members coming back from the Defenders. So it only seems right that they're doing justice, not just for the fans, but also for the series going forward. Like, I love the attention to detail, like how they really did their homework. They did the assignment. They went back and they took down notes, and they were like, we got to do this and bring it back so the fans can know exactly what they're watching. And sometimes I tend to forget when I'm watching this series, like, this is Disney Plus, but I really feel like we're getting that Netflix vibes, and I can't stop talking about it. Like, it just gives me chills. Like, I'm just like, damn, it makes me feel like back in 2015 when the series first was released on Netflix, and I was able to like really get into the story and like really get deep into like the world of Hell's Kitchen, and how the characters were just phenomenal. Everybody did phenomenal job. I loved all the characters, and it's definitely crazy like seeing a lot of characters that are going to die in the future, but this is a flashback, and seeing that these characters like, damn, Foggy, Wesley, and then as we talked about in the last episode, Vanessa, we didn't know if she was going to pass away or she was going to make it. And I'm definitely going to go back to what I stated before. I know that we were giving our opinions on the matter, but definitely I do believe at the end of this episode, it does pronounce that she had passed away. So, which means, like I stated before, I believe we're going to get the real Kingpin. I feel like Kingpin is going to be that ruthless, savage, self-made individual who doesn't give a damn anymore. There's nothing holding back. So it's really crazy.
Absolutely. At the beginning of the episode, maybe like 15 minutes in, when Officer Powell comes in and Kingpin talks to him, he's like, he obviously he's angry, but I would think that was like a little short glimpse of like, okay, this is how he's going to be acting moving forward. Where he was like, look, I want you to find them, do whatever it takes to find them, and I want them alive. Those of y'all that are not hip to who Kingpin was, because I think when he smashed Homeboy's head in the car door, was this before or after he met Vanessa? I can't remember.
I want to say it was before. I want to
Yeah.
say that was like episode 2 or 3. That's because episode 4 was when he met Vanessa. So it's got to be like maybe before or after, like definitely before.
Okay. So those of the y'all that have not been experienced that particular scene, like that's the ruthlessness, just a little bit of what the Kingpin was. I feel like he kind of like dialed it down after Vanessa started getting involved with him. But this, I can't wait. I know it's sad, R.I.P. Vanessa. It's a very, very tough situation. I've been reading the comments. A lot of people are not, shedding a tear for her. But look, my man lost his girl, and he was very emotional about it. Like, and I'm not gonna lie to you, when she woke up, I was like, oh, she made it. And then
Mm-hmm.
I need to get your takeaway from this whole reason why she wanted to go, because I really think she just didn't want to live anymore, considering the fact that she was allergic to the pineapple.
I got a different take on it. I don't think she wasn't trying to live anymore. I felt that she was slipping away. Like, I guess in a way I'm trying to say is that I feel like the damage that was done to her psyche and her physical and mental from the wound definitely did a toll to her. And I felt like when we were listening to Fisk and Vanessa talk in the hospital right after the surgery was done, you can tell that her mind was completely damaged. she kept repeating over and over and over again. So it felt like it was just a matter of time that she wasn't gonna make it.
So you feel like she was just like, I don't want to be in this particular state, so just let me go.
Yeah, kind of like a final farewell, you know. I felt it was more that she did her duty as not only, you know, her part as his partner, but also his wife. She was physically there for him when he needed it the most. And you know, from the last episode, he had told her not to be present at the boxing match, but she was
Right.
there because she loved him. She wanted to be by his side. And that's where I believe she was happy with it. And I don't think she intentionally gave up, but I felt she did justice by Fisk and she felt satisfied even if she didn't want to go. Which is, you know, definitely RIP to Vanessa because I definitely love her character and I love the actress. And you know, it's crazy that you know we go back 11 years when she, you know, when she was first appeared in the Netflix series. You know, and I really thought she was gonna make it through. And you know, like in the season before, I knew she was gonna get into this accident in the last episode. But from what we got, it's definitely crazy how the writers are switching it up and they're changing everything. But there's also another thing too that we got to talk about because I've been seeing a lot of the fans post online how, you know, in the comics and in the animations movies, Into the Spider Verse, and other TV shows, you know, in the animated series, that Vanessa doesn't always make it in the lore.
Right.
And Kingpin has a wife or had a wife. We don't get introduced in a lot of these stories, or we do, and it drives Kingpin insane. And to the Spider Verse, if you remember correctly, he built the reactor to be able to go find another Vanessa in another universe, which caused the whole multiverse to collide with each other into the Spider Verse. You know, so seeing Kingpin doing whatever he can to go to bring his wife back or his son back is definitely gonna definitely. I really believe that this is gonna pave another version of Kingpin that we haven't met yet, which I'm loving because you know, in previous podcasts we talked about how we haven't been, you know, truly happy and how they've been portraying Kingpin in the MCU since he announced
They
his
haven't
role.
lived up to his standard.
More like they've been tarnishing the reputation of Kingpin, been
Yeah.
playing with it. Because I'm not gonna lie, Kingpin is that dude in the Netflix series, bro. And then the fact that we're just letting people just randomly, you know,
Echo.
how do I say this in a nice way? Because I really don't want to shit on my man. I guess you could say win against them. I mean, I'm gonna be blunt because Kingpin ain't that dude to be taking shit for nobody, bro. Especially getting beat by a nobody. You know what I'm saying? Echo. Am I missing? Am I missing somebody? I feel like there's another person.
No, you got it too. Hawkeye and Echo. Hawkeye, he ended up getting messed up by Kate Bishop. Like
Really don't
I
want
was like, yo, why are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
facts. But overall, like, you know, this is definitely gonna play a crucial role, like I said it before. So I'm ready to see the real Kingpin. And you know, like it goes back to episode 1, season 1, where Matt and Fisk are on in the diner having that one-on-one conversation, and they're basically threatening each other that they're gonna do whatever they gotta do if they cross that line. And I'm definitely ready for it. You know, I'm psyched. I can't wait. You know, it's going to be amazing, and I definitely feel, you know, that Kingpin is going to win, is going to become the victor in this series, in this season going forward.
This season. All right, so real quick, before I forget, we gotta talk about Daniel. There's a couple other things that are more important, but we go touch base with Daniel real quick because it just feels like Daniel is just going down this rabbit hole where when Fisk finds out that he's over here leaking sensitive information, like this particular episode leaking the fact that she was in critical condition, like he was doing a good job. He was like, "Look, I can't talk to you right now," and in the moment that BB hugged him, it like he just started spilling the beans.
I feel like it was that puppy look, that stupid ass look that she gave him, and he just started smelling the beans. Like it's one thing. The simping is too much for this dude, bro. Like it's unacceptable, bro. Like have some goddamn self respect for yourself. But at the same time, I could understand if you're getting some buns, but you're not even getting a like off this joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't understand why you're trying so goddamn hard. And it's so hard to just shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? Just stop talking. And I'm like, bro, and this is Kingpin. This ain't the dude that's just gonna let you slide multiple times, bro. He's already told you.
This is multiple times. This is his. I
Yeah.
think this is his fourth try.
Yeah. that Kingpin hasn't figured it out yet because he's still dealing with his wife.
Well, he
But
know.
when he
Oh
do,
well,
when
this
he
this
do,
particular incident he hasn't figured out yet. But like we just
but
go
when he
back to
do,
yeah.
I feel sorry for him, bro. Like when I mean that, I don't feel pity for the dude because I know what he's doing and how easily he's giving the information up. But what I mean is, I feel sorry for his character because I liked this character at the beginning, bro. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really thinking that he has a potential in the future. Maybe he might be the next Kingpin Junior. I don't know. But the way that they're portraying him as going into the season, I just don't feel bad for him, bro. Like it's kind of like you deserve everything that's going on in the season. It's like definitely the simping is cranked up to the max, bro. You haven't even got no buns. So like it's like I can't justify, you know what I'm saying? I like the dude Blake, but it's just like, bro, get the buns first and then spill the beans. I could understand that shit, but goddamn, bro.
You got
Simping
all
is
the
to the max.
leverage. You got all the leverage in the world, and you
The
just get
leverage, the power, and the money, and you still can't get no buns.
so
I just can't make it make sense, bro. I just can't.
so after BB, she leaks the information about Vanessa being in critical condition.
Immediately.
Like immediately, like she didn't waste any time.
Facts.
Like we come across this one reporter that wants Daniel to make a comment on what he heard about Vanessa being critical, and then gets intercepted by Buck, and Buck is like, "Yo, let's take a ride. I need a hot dog." So
Pause.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they're on this ride, and Daniel's just under the impression like, "Oh, he's about to kill me. He's about to kill me. He thinks I'm the he." So
He definitely telling himself, yeah, I'm
yeah,
fucked.
he's telling on
I'm
himself.
about to get
Look,
murked.
I didn't do anything. I'm telling you, I am not the mole. I will do anything to prove my loyalty. And I'm like, yeah, he's done for.
Do you think Cashman knows?
He knows. I feel like he has a
I
soft
feel like he's
spot
playing
for him.
him.
He has a soft spot for him. I think he does.
I think that's I don't want to say his luck. I feel like that's the only thing working on his side is that he's a likable dude.
Yeah,
Like I
he's a
feel like
likable
a
dude.
lot of the characters see themselves in Blake or had some type of, like not a bond, but they see themselves in Blake and they just like, I used to be like you and now I'm a
Talk about
better
Daniel.
version of myself. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, like they see a little piece of themselves in Daniel.
Yeah.
So they kind of feel not sorry for him, but it's because they have some type of like relatability. He's relatable.
Right.
And I feel like that's the only thing going forward with him. And like, I can see that. I see Kingpin seeing like, I used to be like you, and Cashman over there like, yeah, you kind of remind me of me. I used to be a nobody until Fisk, came to my life and made me who I am. And I'm like, that's crazy. Because this dude is just spilling his guts, bro. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, he's really just telling you he just did the whole fucking thing. He just spilled the beans.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, that was too fucking easy.
Right. And then come to find out, we're just going to some random spot in the woods and we're burying the first mate from the ship.
Which is crazy because I completely forgot about that dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that too. So Daniel's going to end up. See, that's the part that's confusing to me because now I want to recheck my statement of the fact that Buck knows that Daniel did leak the information because now he's sending them to the woods to help him bury a body. Don't you think he gonna leak that too? So I think he don't know.
I don't know because to be honest with you, the way I took it when they were driving to the woods, at first when they were at the hardware store, I really thought he's basically setting him up, to basically say, I'm going to murk you and there's nothing you can do about it, right? But as we progress through the episode and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wait, I think he knows that he told BB. And I'm thinking to myself, how crazy would it be if you're really going to prove your loyalty to Kingpin that I kidnapped BB and now you have to murk her to prove your loyalty?
That's who I thought.
That's what I thought. That's who I thought.
That's what I thought she was in the truck. I thought BB was in the truck.
That's what I thought. I sat there. I was sat there when I paused that joke before they even fully opened the trunk, and I'm like, "Yo, it's BB, isn't it, bro? That's fucking nuts." And then come to find out, it's not. I was like, "Oh shit, it's one of the captains." I'm like, "Fuck."
I thought so. If the thing was, when I was like, "That's got to be BB in the truck," I'm like, "Yo, they didn't give her enough respect to give her a scene to die. Like they just put her in the truck."
Yeah, I was gonna say that would have been hard as shit. I would have been like, damn, bro, you about to kill the girl you like. But then that would have been like the ultimate revenge for me. For me, I'm not saying I wanted to see BB get murked, but I would have redeemed Daniel if he had done that. Like,
You would redeem Daniel?
yeah, because I would have been like, damn, if you really, I wouldn't say he would, his loyalty is 100% to Fisk, but if he was going to do that so he could stay alive, I'll be like, okay, it's not about the buns anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the cheeks. He's trying to be somebody, but overall, like, we didn't get that. So I was kind of like, damn, I ain't gonna lie, my heart was pounding a little bit. I was like, oh, damn, he about to murk BB. I'm like, oh shit, bro, it's ride or die at this point now. Like, I'm thinking to myself, yo, whose man's is this?
Right.
There's no way to redeem yourself from this shit. Because that's where I thought I was going with this shit. Because I'm thinking that's right up Cashman's alley and Kingpin's alley. We gotta
Right.
take that weakness and we're gonna eliminate it.
Right. All right, last thing. So like this Lionel flashback and what's going on with Daredevil and Bullseye, I feel like ties in with, well, it ties in with each other. So going back to what we was talking about with the whole flashback with Matt Murdock and Foggy Nelson, they end up representing this one client that got sent their way to from the Kingpin, where they just pretty much wanted to just sign off his death warrant by pretty much taking a plea deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they come across looking at the paperwork, they realize that the paperwork is faulty. So pretty much it's a sweet ride to being dismissed as a case.
But how lucky was that the address was incorrect on the documents?
Right. So Matt and Foggy, they're in having this argument about, oh, what should we do with this information? Should we just let it go, or should we stand up and help him out? Matt's more towards the thought process of let him rot. He screwed up. He's going to have to pay for what he did. And Foggy's more of the lines of we're his representation, we should always want to do the right thing. And bringing it full circle, we go back to modern day where Daredevil and Bullseye are on the run, and Daredevil is put in a situation where we got the anti-vigilante task force right on our ass. Like, they're right here. There's no way I can save you and me at the same time. And it goes back to what he was thinking with the whole Foggy and Lionel situation, where Foggy told him, like, look, gotta do the right thing, gotta always do the right thing. And Daredevil went back and saved Bullseye, and I ain't gonna lie to you, he a better man than me.
I gotta agree with you on that point. He was a better man than me, but at the same time, how fast he put his tail between his leg and dips it on my man, and I'm like, yo, what? And you're supposed to be the Catholic dude in this scenario. It is crazy to see them, how their mindsets are different all the way back in season 1, and how it molded Matt Murdock, aka the Daredevil, to be who he is, and how he's trying to pay homage to his boy, which is definitely the whole take I took from this episode. Was not just the characters, the connecting the dots and bringing the Lord back, but it's the homage. It's paying the respects that open the doors for this season going forward. Definitely, the title is definitely in the show, Born Again. And yes, it is based off a comic, but it's definitely being brought back to life again, which is amazing. Overall, I loved it. I mean, it was a little slow, but overall, I loved it. It was definitely worth the whole entire watch. I don't think there's an episode in this season that I don't like yet. Definitely love how they paid respects to the Netflix series. It's come a long way. Definitely it's going to be better as we moving forward. We talked about season 1 and how season 2 is progressing and how it's changing. You could definitely see the narrative being changed. But overall, I got to talk about one thing and one thing only, and is the end of this episode where we get Fisk and Vanessa looking at the painting all the way back in season 1 and episode 4. Definitely forgot about that. But I loved it. I love how they're taking little clips from the series and adding it to Born Again. And it is definitely, for me as a fan, watching the series from, when it first came out, because I would binge watch it from the moment that it came out all the way till the end of the last episode and rewatch it over and over again. I love, like, I'm not going to stop saying it. The attention to detail, the writing, the acting, the characters brought back. Wesley was amazing. I love his chemistry with Fisk, and seeing Fisk chemistry with Vanessa as well, and seeing how they're really bringing it all back in the clips. When they're chopping the clips and they're bringing it back, because we got even one with Matt Murdock when he was a child in the hospital, which I believe was off season 3. Yeah. And it's definitely it's crazy. For me, it's like it's a time to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love it. I definitely can't ask for more, and I'm excited. overall, like, it's crazy. RP to Vanessa. That's all I gotta say.